Dracula. What if the three brides came to England with Dracula? Chapter 1. 4 passengers on the Demeter. Jonathan Harker first understood that Castle Dracula had no servants when he heard laughter behind a locked door. He had been in the castle for 6 days. During that time, he had seen no cook, no maid, no stable hand, and no porter. Yet meals appeared while he slept. His room was occasionally put in order, and doors he distinctly remembered leaving open were later found locked. The Count alone received him, served him, and sat with him through the long hours before dawn. Dracula spoke excellent English, though he handled certain words as if they were unfamiliar tools. He asked Jonathan about London, its streets, railways, laws, newspapers, and customs. He studied railway timetables and property documents with an appetite more disturbing than hunger. The Count had purchased Carfax, an ancient estate near London. Jonathan's firm had arranged the transaction. At first, he had been proud of his work. Now he understood that he had opened a door. The laughter came again. It was soft and feminine. Jonathan stood in a corridor where the moon entered through narrow windows. The sound had come from beyond an iron-bound door near the western tower. He placed his hand against it. The metal was cold. "Mr. Harker." Jonathan turned. Count Dracula stood at the far end of the passage. He had made no sound in approaching. "I believed I instructed you to remain in your rooms. I could not sleep. The castle is old. Certain floors are unsafe. I heard someone." Dracula's expression did not change, but his eyes moved toward the door. "You heard the wind." It laughed. "There are winds in these mountains that have learned many human voices." The Count approached. For one instant, the women behind the door became silent. Then something scratched lightly against the wood. Dracula placed one pale hand upon Jonathan's shoulder. "You will sleep in your own chamber tonight." It was not advice. That night, Jonathan locked his door. He placed a chair beneath the handle and lay fully dressed upon his bed. He did not expect to sleep, but fear exhausts the body even when it torments the mind. When he awoke, the door was open. The chair had been moved aside. Upon the table rested a single golden hair. Jonathan tried the main doors the following morning. They were locked. The windows opened above cliffs no man could descend. The Count had stopped pretending Jonathan was a guest. He was a prisoner. Days later, searching for an escape, Jonathan entered an abandoned part of the castle. Dust lay thick upon the floors. Curtains had rotted beside cracked windows. Portraits watched from the walls, their faces darkened by age. He found a chamber with a door that still opened. Exhaustion overcame caution. He lay upon an old couch and fell asleep. Moonlight had filled the room when he awoke. 3 young women stood before him. 2 had dark hair and high, proud features that seemed strangely familiar. Something in the arch of their brows and shape of their mouths resembled the Count. The 3rd woman was fair-haired. Moonlight shone through the loose gold around her face. Her lips were red, her teeth white and sharp. They looked at Jonathan with delight. "He is young," said one of the dark women. "And strong," said the other. The fair-haired woman smiled. "You may have him after me." Jonathan knew he should move. Instead, he remained still as the golden woman knelt beside him. Her breath was sweet. Her lips approached his throat. Desire and horror moved through him together, each made more terrible by the presence of the other. The woman opened her mouth. A white hand closed around her neck and pulled her away. Count Dracula stood over them. His face had become something Jonathan had not seen before. The civility had fallen from it. His eyes burned red, and the long teeth beneath his lips were no longer concealed. "How dare you touch him?" The fair-haired woman laughed. "You have never loved." "Yes," said Dracula, "I too can love, you know what I have loved before. Possession is not love." Dracula threw her aside. "This man belongs to me." Jonathan tried to rise, but the Count's gaze held him. "When I have finished with him," Dracula told the women, "you may take what remains." The youngest-looking dark woman stared at Jonathan. Unlike the others, she did not speak. She touched 2 fingers to her lips and then pointed toward him, as if making a promise. Dracula threw a moving sack onto the floor. A child cried inside it. The women descended upon the bundle. Jonathan remembered nothing more. When he awoke, he was alone. The knowledge that he must escape became stronger than his fear of dying in the attempt. He climbed from his window and moved along the outer wall, using cracks in the stone for handholds. Below him opened a depth filled with mist. Above, the castle towers cut into the moon. He reached the Count's window and entered. Dracula was absent. Jonathan searched until he found a ruined chapel beneath the castle. 50 wooden boxes rested there, each filled with freshly dug earth. The Count lay inside one. His eyes were open, but he did not move. His face appeared younger and swollen with blood. Jonathan lifted a shovel. He wanted to strike. The Count's eyes turned toward him. The shovel fell from Jonathan's hands. He fled. Only later did he notice that 3 boxes near the rear of the chapel were larger than the others. A golden hair was caught beneath one lid. From inside another came the faint sound of a woman breathing. The third bore scratches upon its inner edge, as though the person within it had once attempted to escape. That evening, wagons entered the castle courtyard. The boxes were loaded for transport. Jonathan watched from a high window. He counted 47 ordinary boxes and 3 larger ones. Dracula stood below. The 3 women stood behind him. The fair-haired woman looked up and saw Jonathan. She smiled. The silent woman did not smile. She lifted one hand and pressed it against her heart. Then each woman climbed into a separate box. The lids were nailed shut. Dracula entered the final box willingly. Jonathan now understood. The Count was not leaving them behind. He was taking them to England. The Russian schooner Demeter departed from Varna with a cargo of silver sand and 50 boxes of Transylvanian earth. The captain's log recorded a crew of 9. It did not record the 4 additional passengers. For the first week, the voyage proceeded normally. The men complained about the weather, the food, and the cargo. One sailor reported hearing movement below deck. Another found earth scattered around the boxes. Then a deckhand disappeared. No one had seen him fall overboard. 2 nights later, a second man vanished. The remaining sailors began sleeping in groups. They searched the ship from bow to stern and found no stowaway. On the following morning, the cook discovered wet footprints leading from the hold. They were small, bare, and shaped like a woman's feet. The captain ordered the cargo inspected. All 50 boxes appeared sealed. That night, 4 bells sounded without anyone touching the rope. The mate saw a tall man standing at the forward rail. He ran toward him. The figure became mist and passed over the side. A woman laughed above the mast. The mate looked up. A pale figure crouched among the rigging. Long dark hair moved around her face. She clung to the mast with one hand while the ship rolled beneath her. The mate called for help. By the time the others arrived, she was gone. At sunrise, the mate was found alive but unable to speak. 2 punctures marked his throat. The captain locked him in his cabin for protection. The following night, the door was found open. The mate had vanished. The captain began wearing a crucifix. He ordered the men to remain together after sunset and forbade anyone from entering the hold alone. It did not help. The ship sailed into a storm that seemed to follow it. Fog surrounded the Demeter. No other vessel appeared. The compass turned without reason. The sails filled even when the air was still. Every night, someone disappeared. The captain wrote his final entries with a shaking hand. There are 4 of them. God forgive me, there are 4. A tall old man, though sometimes he is no man but mist or beast. A woman with golden hair who sings beneath the deck. A dark woman who watches us as if counting livestock. And another who makes no sound. The silent one is worst. She does not feed when the others feed. She searches. I believe she is looking for someone who is not aboard. On the last night, the captain lashed himself to the wheel. He placed the crucifix between his hands. The storm drove the Demeter toward Whitby. A black dog leapt from the ship when it struck the shore and disappeared up the cliff. The people who found the vessel saw the dead captain tied to the wheel. They did not see the fair-haired woman emerge from the hold and step into the rain. They did not see the elder dark woman pause beside the cargo manifest and study the name of the railway company that would transport the boxes. They did not see the silent woman kneel upon the deck and touch a sealed letter that had fallen from one dead sailor's coat. The letter had passed through Budapest. It carried the faint scent of Jonathan Harker. The silent woman raised her head toward London. Behind her, Dracula appeared in the form of mist. Not yet, he said. She turned toward him. You will have him when my work is done. Her pale fingers closed around the letter. Dracula smiled. England is large, there will be others. The women followed him ashore. 4 shadows passed over the harbor. By morning, the people of Whitby had invented 100 stories about the empty ship. None of them was terrible enough. Chapter 2. 4 shadows over Whitby. Mina Murray first saw the fair-haired woman in the churchyard. She had been sitting beside Lucy Westenra, watching the dark sea below. Lucy had received 3 proposals of marriage in a single day and had accepted Arthur Holmwood, though she remained troubled by the pain she had caused Dr. John Seward and Quincy Morris. You cannot marry all 3, Mina reminded her. I know, but why must happiness make someone else unhappy? Because it would be unbearable if life were simple. Lucy laughed. At that moment, Mina noticed a woman standing among the graves. She wore no hat despite the wind. Her pale dress belonged to no fashion Mina recognized. Her golden hair moved freely around her face. She was watching Lucy. Do you know her? Mina asked. Lucy turned. The woman had disappeared. That night, Lucy walked in her sleep. Mina woke to find the other bed empty and the door open. She hurried through the streets, climbing toward the churchyard. A full moon shone between clouds. Lucy sat upon their usual bench. A tall black figure bent over her. Mina called Lucy's name. The figure raised its head. Its face was white, its eyes red. Then mist crossed the moon. When the light returned, the figure was gone. Mina ran to Lucy and found her barely conscious. 2 red marks showed upon her throat. As Mina drew her shawl around her friend, a woman laughed from behind the church. It was not the Count. The fair-haired woman stood in the shadows. Her lips were red. Too late, she said. Then she vanished. Lucy remembered nothing in the morning. She complained of weakness and strange dreams. I dreamed I was surrounded by women, she said. One stroked my hair, another held my hands. The third stood at the foot of the bed and would not let me wake. Mina wrote to Jonathan, though she did not know where her letters would find him. She had received news that he was ill in a hospital in Budapest. The message had been brief, but it was enough to make her prepare for the journey. Before leaving Whitby, she saw the 3 women together. They stood outside the window shortly before dawn. The golden woman watched Lucy with hunger. Beside her stood a dark-haired woman who looked older, though her face was unmarked by age. Her eyes moved around the room, studying its locks, windows, medicines, and furniture. The third woman stared only at Mina. She was the youngest in appearance. Her dark hair hung to her waist. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Then her gaze dropped to the letter in Mina's hand. Jonathan's name was written upon it. The silent woman pressed both hands against the glass. Mina backed away. The first edge of sunlight touched the horizon. The three figures dissolved into mist. Mina left for Budapest that afternoon. Lucy remained in Whitby for several more days before returning to her mother's house near London. She did not travel alone. Dracula had expected obedience. For centuries, the three women had lived within his castle, feeding when he permitted it and sleeping when daylight returned. They had no need to cooperate with one another, because the Count gave them neither territory nor purpose beyond the castle walls. England changed them. The country was filled with crowds, trains, theaters, hospitals, alleys, hotels, and houses stacked one beside another. Human beings moved through darkness without suspecting what might move beside them. The Golden Woman delighted in it. She entered drawing rooms by invitation. She listened to conversations in restaurants and learned English from the memories of those whose blood she tasted. She discovered that beauty opened doors more efficiently than force. The elder dark woman studied. She read newspapers. She watched railway stations. She learned how messages crossed London, how police organized searches, how doctors transferred patients, and how wealth protected some streets while poverty concealed others. The silent woman searched for Jonathan. Dracula summoned them to Carfax. The ruined estate stood beside Dr. Seward's asylum. Its chapel and cellars contained the first boxes of earth transported from Whitby. Dracula waited among them. "You will remain here," he commanded. The elder woman looked around the decaying chapel. "We crossed an ocean to enter another prison. You crossed because I permitted it." The Golden Woman smiled. "You brought us because you need us." Dracula moved faster than sight. His hand closed around her throat. "You exist because I allow it. Then why did you not leave us in the castle?" His grip tightened. The elder woman answered for him. "Because he fears England." Dracula released the Golden Woman. "I fear nothing. You fear daylight, consecrated ground, the host, the crucifix, the stake, and any man who knows what you are," said the elder woman. "That is already a crowded room." Dracula struck her. She fell against one of the boxes. The silent woman watched without expression. "You will feed where I direct you," Dracula said. "You will make no others without my permission. The girl Lucy belongs to me." The Golden Woman rose. "Why?" "Because I have chosen her." "You chose the Englishman too." The silent woman's head turned sharply. Dracula looked toward her. "Harker is beyond your reach." The silent woman took one step forward. "He is mine," Dracula said. Her eyes changed. For a moment, the chapel filled with a pressure like an approaching storm. Then she lowered her head. Dracula smiled. He mistook restraint for submission. Lucy's health worsened after her return home. Dr. Seward examined her and found no ordinary explanation. Her blood seemed to disappear faster than her body could replace it. Seward called his former teacher, Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Van Helsing arrived from Amsterdam and studied the wounds upon Lucy's throat. "There are two," Seward said. Van Helsing looked closer. "No, there are more." Around the original marks lay several smaller punctures. Some were recent, others had nearly healed. "How many attackers?" Seward asked. Van Helsing did not answer. He filled Lucy's room with garlic flowers and placed a crucifix around her neck. He warned everyone that the windows must remain closed. That night, the Golden Woman stood outside. Dracula appeared behind her. "You will leave her," she called to me. "She does not know your name." "Neither do you." Dracula seized her hair. The Golden Woman laughed despite the pain. "You want her because she is alive. You always want what has not yet learned to hate you." Dracula threw her against the wall. Lucy stirred inside the room. The Golden Woman looked through the glass. "She will hate you too." Dracula became a great wolf and broke through another window. Lucy's mother, already weak of heart, died from terror. The garlic was removed in the confusion. Dracula approached Lucy's bed, but the Golden Woman entered behind him. When dawn came, Lucy had been visited twice. No transfusion could replace what 4 vampires desired. She died before morning. Dracula believed death had made her his. The Golden Woman believed otherwise. And beneath the city, the elder bride began to make plans that included neither of them. Chapter 3. The Brides of London. Jonathan Harker returned to England with white hair. Mina had found him in Budapest, ill, exhausted, and uncertain whether the events recorded in his journal had been real. They married there before traveling home. For several weeks, Mina did not ask him to speak of the castle. Then Jonathan saw Dracula in London. The Count appeared younger than the man Jonathan remembered. He walked through a crowded street dressed in black, his mustache dark, his face full with stolen blood. Jonathan gripped Mina's arm. "It is the man." Dracula looked toward them. He smiled. Across the street, a silent young woman turned at the same moment. She saw Jonathan. The noise of London seemed to vanish. Jonathan recognized her. She had knelt beside him in the moonlit room at Castle Dracula. She had touched her lips and promised without words that she would find him. Now she had. The woman stepped into the road. A carriage passed between them. When it was gone, she had disappeared. Jonathan fainted. After Lucy's funeral, Mina and Jonathan joined Seward, Arthur Holmwood, Quincy Morris, and Van Helsing. They compared journals, letters, newspaper reports, and ship records. Jonathan's account revealed the truth. "There are 4, Mina said. Van Helsing nodded gravely. "The Count and the 3 women." "His wives?" Seward asked. Jonathan remembered the Golden Woman's laughter. "I do not know what they are to him." "Prisoners?" Mina said. Jonathan looked at her. "Prisoners can also be dangerous," she continued. "One condition does not cancel the other." Van Helsing paced before the fire. "If they came to England, our work is multiplied, but perhaps their number gives us an advantage." Arthur stared at him. "An advantage? Dracula has lived by command. If these women begin to choose, then command may fail." Their first duty was Lucy. Reports had appeared of children disappearing after sunset and returning with wounds upon their throats. They spoke of a beautiful woman they called the Bloofer Lady. Arthur refused to believe it until he saw Lucy emerge from the cemetery carrying a child. Her face was sweet and cruel. She held out her arms to him. "Come to me, Arthur." He nearly obeyed. Van Helsing stopped him. They returned to Lucy's tomb the following day and released her soul according to the terrible methods required. Arthur drove the stake. Van Helsing completed the work. When it was done, Lucy's face regained the peace of death. A scream sounded from outside the tomb. The Golden Bride stood beyond the circle of sacred wafers. She looked at Lucy's body. "You killed her." Arthur raised the hammer. Van Helsing held him back. The woman's eyes filled with red tears. "He killed her first," she said. "Your count," Van Helsing replied. "He promised her to me. She was never yours." The bride looked at Van Helsing with hatred. "Nor was she yours to save." She vanished into the cemetery mist. That night Dracula punished her. The other two watched in the chapel at Carfax. "You permitted them to destroy what was mine," he said. "What was yours?" asked the Golden Woman. "The girl or the wound you placed in her?" Dracula forced her to her knees. "Say that you belong to me." She smiled up at him. "No priest joined us. No vow was freely given." His hand tightened around her throat. "What then are you?" The answer came from the elder dark woman. "Hungry." Dracula turned. She stood beside an open coffin. Inside lay a young man from the streets of London, his eyes opened, new teeth pressed against his lips. Dracula stared at him. "I forbade you to make another, and I discovered that your permission is not required." The young vampire rose. Dracula destroyed him before he could stand fully. The body collapsed into dust. The elder woman did not move. "You brought us to a country where millions live within a few miles," she said. "Did you imagine we would remain three frightened creatures outside your chamber?" Dracula's expression became calm. That calm frightened even them. "You believe distance from my castle has made you free." He opened his hand. All three women cried out. An invisible chain seemed to tighten within their bodies. The golden bride fell. The elder gripped the coffin. The silent woman remained standing longest, then sank to one knee. "My blood made you," Dracula said. "My blood commands you." The elder woman looked up. "Then your blood must be taken from you." For the first time, Dracula understood the danger he had carried across the sea. The hunters began locating the Count's boxes. They purified each one with sacred wafers, denying Dracula a place of rest. The work was slow and dangerous. Some boxes had been transported to houses throughout London. The elder bride knew where they were. She began leaving clues. A railway receipt appeared beneath the door of Seward's office. A map was found inside an unlocked room. Addresses were marked with drops of blood. Jonathan distrusted the assistant. "She wants us to weaken him." "Then we share a purpose," said Quincy. "For how long?" "Probably until the minute after we succeed." The clues led them to 9 boxes in a warehouse near the river. They entered shortly before sunset. 8 were empty. The 9th contained the silent bride. Her eyes opened. The men raised crucifixes. She recoiled, but her gaze remained fixed on Jonathan. Mina stepped between them. The bride's face twisted with jealousy. "She cannot speak," Jonathan said. "No," Mina replied. "She has been forbidden." Mina lowered the crucifix. Van Helsing warned her to stop. She approached the coffin. "What is your name?" The woman stared. "Dracula calls you nothing. The others call you sister, but you had a name before him." The bride touched her own throat. A dark mark encircled it like an old collar. Mina held out her hand. The vampire seized it. A vision passed between them. Mina saw a mountain village centuries earlier. She saw a young woman copying prayers in a monastery library because her father had taught her letters. She saw soldiers at the gate. She saw Dracula enter while the building burned. The woman had spoken against him. He had admired her courage. Then he had made silence her punishment. A word surfaced within the memory. "Sorina." Mina spoke it. The bride released her. Her lips opened. At first no sound came. Then, with the rough voice of someone waking from a long illness, she whispered, "Sorina." The warehouse shook. Far away, Dracula felt the name return. The vampire's expression filled with terror. "He knows," she said. Then she turned to Jonathan. "Run!" The warehouse doors burst open. Dracula entered as a column of mist. The hunters raised the sacred host. Quincy fired. The bullet passed through shadow. Dracula reached Sorina and struck her aside. Jonathan attacked with a knife. The Count caught his wrist. Before Dracula could break it, Sorina rose and drove both hands into his back. He turned upon her. Mina shouted the name again. "Sorina!" The vampire's strength returned. She held Dracula long enough for Van Helsing to press a sacred wafer against the Count's forehead. Smoke rose from his flesh. Dracula fled in the form of a black cloud. Sorina followed. She paused beside Jonathan. "You were promised to us," she said. "I remember. I searched for you." Jonathan took Mina's hand. Sorina looked at them together. "Why did you not take me?" he asked. The vampire's eyes moved to Mina. "Because she said my name." She vanished before sunrise. Inside the abandoned box, Van Helsing found another map. Every remaining line led to Carfax. Chapter 4. No Bride Forever. Renfield knew the women were coming. The patient had spent months eating flies and spiders, believing that consuming life would accumulate power within him. He worshipped Dracula as a master who could grant him immortality. But when the brides began moving through the asylum walls, Renfield's devotion changed to fear. "4 mouths," he told Seward. "The master promised life, but he brought 4 mouths. Where are they?" "In the house, beneath the house, inside the walls." Seward attempted to calm him. Renfield seized his sleeve. "The old one wants his throne. The golden one wants his love. The silent one wants her name, and he will give none of them anything but hunger." That night, Dracula entered Mina's room. The hunters had left her behind while they searched another property. Jonathan lay unconscious upon the bed. Dracula forced Mina to drink his blood. "You have worked against me," he said. "Now you will carry me in your thoughts. Wherever you go, I will know. Whatever they plan, I will see." Mina resisted. Dracula smiled. "You gave a name to one of mine. I shall take yours in return." A crash sounded from the corridor. Renfield had attempted to stop him. Dracula broke the man's body and left him dying upon the floor. By the time the hunters returned, the Count was gone. Mina bore his mark. The connection worked in both directions. At sunrise and sunset, Van Helsing hypnotized her. Through Dracula's blood, she heard water, horses, bells, and the breathing of creatures that did not breathe. But she also heard the brides. The golden woman dreamed of a candle-lit court, and a man who had promised that death would preserve love forever. Her name was Ilona. She had gone willingly to Dracula, but not knowingly. She had believed immortality meant they would stand as equals. She discovered too late that he wanted worship, not companionship. The elder bride remembered a fortified house and soldiers kneeling before her. Her name was Viorica. She had been a landowner's widow, feared by servants and rivals alike. Dracula had not stolen innocence from her. He had offered power, and she had accepted. For centuries she resented him not because he made her cruel, but because he never permitted her cruelty to exceed his own. Sorina remembered books. Her memories were the weakest, because Dracula had worked hardest to erase them. Mina wrote down the 3 names: Ilona, Viorica, Sorina. When she spoke them in the presence of the others, Dracula's control weakened. But the women did not become human. Ilona continued to kill. Viorica used her restored identity to gather followers. Sorina remained dangerous whenever hunger overcame memory. "A name is not redemption," Van Helsing warned. "No," said Mina, It is only the return of choice. And what if they choose evil? Then we oppose them as themselves, not as extensions of him. The hunters prepared for Carfax. All the surviving boxes had been carried there. Viorica had arranged it, drawing Dracula into one place. She intended the hunters to destroy him and weaken themselves. Then she would take control of the remaining vampires. Ilona intended to protect Dracula until the final instant, when she would force him to admit that he had once loved her. Sorina intended to take Jonathan and leave England. None of them would receive exactly what they wanted. Jonathan disappeared the night before the attack. His window stood open. Scratches marked the outer wall. Upon the pillow lay a strand of dark hair. Mina knew who had taken him. She went to Carfax alone. The ruined chapel was lit by candles stolen from churches and funeral rooms. 4 coffins stood before the broken altar. Jonathan lay awake upon a stone table. Sorina stood beside him. "You warned me to run," Mina said. "I warned him. Why bring him here?" "Because he was promised. By Dracula. Before I remembered my name." Mina approached. "And now?" Sorina looked down at Jonathan. "Now I remember wanting him. That is not the same as loving him." Ilona's voice came from the shadows. "Do not speak to us of love." She emerged wearing a pale dress stained at the throat. Viorica followed. The elder bride wore black. Several newly made vampires stood behind her, men and women taken from streets where disappearances attracted little attention. Mina looked at the 4 coffins. "One for each of you. One will soon be empty," Viorica said. "Dracula's. Whichever coffin belongs to the weakest." Ilona smiled. "Viorica believes she will become a queen. I was a ruler while you were still singing for men's attention. And yet you knelt beside me in the same castle." Sorina placed herself between them and Jonathan. Mina saw the truth. The 3 women had spent centuries directing their hatred sideways because Dracula stood above them all. Freedom had not made them sisters. It had merely given their old rivalry space to grow. "You are doing his work," Mina said. Viorica laughed. "His work is conquest. I intend to improve upon it. You will become what you claim to hate." "I do not hate his power. I hate that it is his." Ilona turned toward the door. "He is coming." Dracula entered. No one had heard his approach. His eyes settled upon Mina. "You came willingly." "I came for my husband." "You came because my blood called you." Viorica's followers moved around him. Dracula looked at them with contempt. "These are your army. They are the beginning." Dracula raised one hand. The new vampires attacked him. He destroyed the first with a single blow. The second reached his throat before he tore her away. The others hesitated. Viorica attacked from behind. Ilona joined her. For the first time in centuries, the brides struck their creator together. Sorina cut Jonathan's bonds. "Go." He rose unsteadily. Mina took his arm. "Come with us." Sorina shook her head. "If I leave, he calls me back." "Then help us end him." Sorina looked toward the battle. Dracula threw Viorica across the chapel. Ilona clung to his arm, her teeth in his wrist, drinking the blood that had once enslaved her. For one moment, Dracula appeared weakened. Then he laughed. "You wanted my love." Ilona released him. Dracula touched her face. "You crossed the sea believing I would look at you, as I looked at the English girl." Ilona trembled. "Say you loved me." "I loved your obedience." Her expression broke. Dracula turned her and drove her into Viorica. The elder bride's followers fled into the corridors. Mina heard horses and men outside. Van Helsing and the others had arrived. Dracula looked toward the doors. So he said, "Let them enter." The 4 coffins opened behind him. Darkness poured out. Chapter 5. The House with 4 Coffins. Van Helsing entered Carfax carrying the sacred host. Arthur and Seward followed with crucifixes and stakes. Quincy Morris carried a long knife and a Winchester rifle. They found Mina and Jonathan near the chapel entrance. The vampire stood before the altar. Dracula occupied the center. Ilona remained beside him despite the wound he had given her. Viorica stood opposite, surrounded by the remnants of her followers. Sorina waited alone. 4 coffins, Van Helsing said. 4 graves, Dracula replied. The chapel doors slammed shut. Viorica's followers attacked. Arthur and Quincy held them back while Van Helsing moved toward the coffins. He placed a sacred wafer inside the first. The earth hissed. Dracula screamed. Viorica struck him again. "Do you feel it?" she asked. "Your kingdom growing smaller." Dracula seized one of her followers and drained him before them all. The body collapsed. "My kingdom is wherever fear speaks my name." "No," Mina said. "Your kingdom is wherever no one remembers ours." She spoke the names. Ilona. The golden bride turned. Viorica. The elder bride faltered. Sorina. The silent woman lifted her head. Dracula's authority broke for one crucial second. Van Helsing purified the second coffin. Jonathan ran to the third. Dracula moved toward him, but Sorina blocked the way. "Stand aside," the Count commanded. "No." The word was quiet. Dracula stared at her. "What did you say?" Sorina faced the man who had taken her voice centuries earlier. "No." He opened his hand. Pain passed through her. She fell to one knee, clutching her throat. "Stand aside." Sorina tried to rise. Dracula's blood forced her down. Jonathan approached, but she warned him away with one hand. Then Mina said her name again. "Sorina." Jonathan repeated it. Van Helsing repeated it. Soon the entire chapel seemed to hold the sound. Sorina stood. Dracula's eyes widened. She attacked him. Jonathan reached the third coffin and drove a consecrated fragment into the earth. Only one remained. Viorica saw it too. If Dracula's final resting place was destroyed, he would become vulnerable. But the same was true of the brides. The boxes contained shared earth from the castle. Purifying all of them would deny sanctuary to every vampire present. "Stop him," Viorica commanded. Her remaining followers turned upon Jonathan. Quincy intercepted them. A vampire struck him across the chest. He fell, rose again, and drove his knife forward. Arthur reached the final coffin. Viorica seized him. "You killed the girl I wanted," Ilona told Arthur. She appeared behind him, teeth bared. Arthur raised Lucy's crucifix. Ilona recoiled. "You wanted Lucy as Dracula wanted her," Arthur said. "Not alive, not free, yours." Ilona's face twisted. "I could have given her eternity." "You could not give what you did not possess." Viorica threw Arthur aside. She reached for the coffin. Dracula caught her wrist. "You wished to replace me. I still shall. You learned ambition from me. I learned imprisonment." Viorica sank her teeth into his throat. Dracula did not resist. For one instant, triumph entered her eyes. Then his blood began moving backward. Viorica tried to pull away. She could not. Dracula drew the power he had given her back into himself. Her face aged. Centuries passed across it in seconds. Her black hair whitened. Her hands became thin and dry. Still she fought. I was Viorica before you, she said. I remain Viorica after you. Dracula cast her toward the broken altar. Van Helsing stood waiting. He raised the sacred host. Viorica could have retreated. Instead, she looked at Dracula one last time. I was never your bride. Then she turned toward Van Helsing and attacked. He completed the work required to release her. Viorica fell. Her body became dust, but her expression in the final instant was not peaceful. She had not chosen redemption. She had merely chosen to die under her own name. Dracula roared. The chapel walls shook. Ilona moved toward him. You destroyed her. She betrayed me. So did I. Ilona revealed the wound upon Dracula's wrist where she had drunk from him. His expression hardened. She held his blood in her mouth. Command me now. Dracula struck her. She fell beside the fourth coffin. Arthur ran toward it. Ilona seized his ankle. He raised the stake. She looked past him at Dracula. Say it, she begged. Dracula turned away. Say that once, before the castle, before England, before all these years, I was more than hunger to you. The Count faced Jonathan. Ilona's grip loosened. Look at me, she said. He did not. Arthur could have destroyed her. Instead, he pulled free and reached the coffin. Ilona understood. Dracula would rather lose everything than grant her one honest memory. She rose and stood between Arthur and the Count. Dracula believed she had returned to his side. Then Ilona drove both hands into his chest. Now she told Arthur. Arthur purified the final coffin. A force moved through Carfax. Every candle went out. The boxes split. Earth poured across the floor, gray and lifeless. Dracula staggered. The brides cried out. Ilona held him. You will die with me, he said. She smiled through tears. It is the closest you ever came to keeping a promise. Jonathan and Quincy attacked together. Jonathan's blade cut across Dracula's throat as Quincy's knife entered his heart. For a moment, the Count's body remained solid. His eyes found Mina. The red mark upon her forehead burned. Then the first light of dawn entered through a crack in the chapel roof. Dracula's face collapsed into age. Ilona still held him. He became dust in her arms. The mark vanished from Mina's skin. Ilona fell beside the empty space. Without Dracula's blood and without the consecrated earth, she could no longer preserve the shape she had worn. Her golden hair faded. The beauty that had lasted centuries gave way to the face of the mortal woman she had once been. Mina knelt beside her. Ilona. The vampire looked at her. He remembered my obedience. I will remember your name. Ilona laughed weakly. Names, you believe they save everything. No, but they prevent the lie that you were nothing. Ilona's eyes closed. Her body dissolved into pale dust beside Dracula's. Quincy collapsed. Blood spread beneath his coat. Seward and Arthur lifted him, but Quincy knew the wound was fatal. Did we get him? He asked. Jonathan knelt. Yes. Quincy looked at Mina's forehead. The scar is gone. He smiled. Then he died. Silence entered the chapel. Van Helsing looked toward Sorina. She stood beside the open doors. Morning light touched the floor before her. Arthur raised the stake. Sorina did not move. Wait, Mina said. She remains vampire, Van Helsing warned. I know. Sorina looked at Jonathan. When I found you in London, I wanted to finish what began in the castle. Jonathan said nothing. I believed wanting was the same as being owed. It is not. No. She looked toward the ashes of the others. Viorica wanted his throne. Ilona wanted his love. I wanted what he had promised me. What do you want now? Mina asked. Sorina looked outside. The sun rose above the ruined walls. To choose what happens to the last thing he made. She stepped into the light. The sunlight did not burn her to ash. It weakened her. Her skin grew pale and thin, and the strength left her body. She continued walking. Van Helsing followed. Beyond Carfax stood a patch of unconsecrated earth. Sorina stopped there. No coffin remains, she said. No home. You cannot become human again, Van Helsing told her. I know. If you continue to exist, hunger will return. I know. Mina understood what she was asking. Is there no other way? Sorina looked at her. There are always other ways. That is what makes a choice a choice. She lay upon the ground with her face toward the morning sky. Van Helsing knelt beside her. Are you certain? Sorina looked at Jonathan one final time. Then she looked at Mina. Write the names. I will. Not brides. No. Sorina closed her eyes. Van Helsing placed the sacred host upon her lips. He drew the stake from his case, but his hand trembled. Sorina opened her eyes. I have already had one man decide my eternity, she said. Do not make me wait for another. Van Helsing completed the rite. When it was done, Sorina's face became peaceful. For the first time, she looked neither hungry nor afraid. The official records explained little. They spoke of a violent disturbance at Carfax, the death of an American visitor, and damage to the abandoned chapel. They did not mention vampires, moving mist, consecrated earth, or women who had lived for centuries without their names. Dracula's properties were sold. The boxes were burned. Quincy Morris was buried with honor. Jonathan and Mina preserved every journal, letter, telegram, and phonograph recording. They arranged the documents so that no single voice carried the entire truth. At the end of the record, Mina added an account that the others had not requested. She wrote about 3 women who had appeared in Castle Dracula long before the Count sailed for England. She wrote the name Viorica. She did not excuse the lives Viorica had taken or the kingdom she had attempted to build. She wrote that Viorica had preferred power to mercy, but that her crimes belonged to her, just as her defiance did. She wrote the name Ilona. She wrote that Ilona had confused possession with love because possession was all Dracula had ever offered her. She had harmed Lucy out of jealousy and hunger, yet in the final hour she had held Dracula in place while the last coffin was destroyed. Finally, Mina wrote the name Sorina. She wrote that Sorina had once copied books in a mountain monastery. She had spoken against a warlord and been punished with silence. Centuries later, she recovered one word before all others. Her own name. The public continued to call them the brides of Dracula. It was a memorable phrase. It suggested black ceremonies, willing vows, and eternal devotion. It transformed imprisonment into romance and erased the difference between being chosen and being taken. Mina used no such title. She wrote 3 names, one for each woman who had been made into a shadow of his. And beneath the last she added, she was not his bride. She was his prisoner. And at the end she chose the door.